Today we are installing a 4-foot high solid vinyl fence. Now we have installed this fence many times on the channel, but typically we show you our 6-foot high privacy version, and I wanted to showcase today what this fence looks like in the 4-foot high front yard version. Our solid vinyl fence is our most popular style for a few reasons. One, in the 6-foot high version that we also installed, you get your full privacy for the backyard. But here's the thing with the 6-foot high fence, at least where we live here on Long Island and in most of New York where we install, once you hit the front corner of a house, you need to drop your fence down to 4 foot high for the front yard. Now, I always say it, check your local building codes. I don't want someone across the globe commenting, oh, you're actually allowed to do a 10-foot high fence. Where we install predominantly, once you hit the front corner of a house, you have to drop it down to 4 foot. And now a lot of times on our channel, we've showed you our 4-foot high open picket options, which are really decorative. However, this same solid privacy vinyl style in a 4-foot high version looks beautiful. And if you're looking for something closed, you don't want leaves blowing in and out or dirt blowing in and out. You just want that nice closure and you want it to match what you have in the back for your privacy. The 4-foot high solid vinyl option is an excellent choice, and we do it pretty frequently. So I'm very excited to showcase this installation on the channel. So here at this property in Syosset, New York, we installed a 4-foot high solid vinyl fence on both sides of the property. So in this video, we are going to start with the removal of this old decayed wood fence. Then we are going to get into our step-by-step process for installing this beautiful fence. Then we are going to do a full product showcasing. This is a real special video. I know you guys are going to love it, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. It is the free thing that you can do to support us. We greatly appreciate it. Now let's get into the job. Now here on the left side of the property, we had to remove this old wood fence to make way for that brand new white vinyl. As you'll see, this wood is completely rotted out and it was time for an upgrade. Ain't that right, Alphonse? On this side, the coast is clear. There's no existing fence. She just wants that nice border right here that I was talking about before. So we're gonna start this fence line, and I'm going to get into the step-by-step process for the installation. First, when you're beginning a line of fence, we wanna set our 2 end posts, so that way we can set a string line and get all the consecutive posts on the correct line. You want to check your local building codes, but the general rule around here where we install mostly on Long Island, New York, is that you want your first post in the front of a property to be about 10 feet off the curb. A lot of times when you see a post right next to the sidewalk, that's generally not how it's supposed to be. We're gonna start the line of fence with an end post. All that means is that the post here at the beginning is going to have holes for the fence on one side. So you'll see when I rotate the post, there are no other holes on this post. It's meant to have the fence go in one direction. When they finish digging, we'll go ahead and install this post. Now we've completed digging the hole, I'm going to take my end post, face the holes, obviously in the direction that the fence is going, and we're going to put that in the hole right there. To install this post, we're first going to surround it with dirt. Now we are going to hold the post plumb and tamp down the dirt nice and compact so that we have the post in a stationary position. We start with dirt so that way we can secure the post position. Now, the dirt allows us to hold the post where we want it and stabilize it. You can't really do that with wet concrete. So we always start the post installation with a layer of dirt. Then comes time for our concrete. The concrete is going to dry around the post and hold this position for years to come. So we are mixing the concrete here in a wheelbarrow. We just mix it by hand here. And then we are going to surround this post with a substantial amount of concrete. We don't fill the hole up with concrete all the way to the top. We want to leave a little bit of space so that way we can put a layer of dirt on top of the concrete. This is especially important for residential properties because your customers might want to plant grass around the posts, and you want to make sure that grass grows all the way around the post. It does not look nice at a residential property to have big concrete footings showing around every single one of your vinyl fence posts. Now you'll see this post is completely installed and ready to go.
Now that our end posts are installed, we are going to set our string line. Once again, just ensuring that all of the consecutive posts are on the same line. This is especially important if you're installing on or close to a property line.
Now we can actually begin installing the fence line. So first, we're going to start at our end post over here that we installed before, and we're going to measure over the length of our section and then mark where we're going to dig our next hole for the first line post. All right. So now we're going to actually measure 2 holes at the same time because we have a lot of help here today. This over here is my cousin John. It's his first day on the job. We're training him on how to install fences. So if he looks a little bit rusty on the post hole digger, just take it easy on him in the comments, please. So you dig down as far as you can with the post hole digger. Then we're gonna get in here with the tamping bar and actually loosen up this dirt. So that way, cousin John over here can continue to make progress. Now I'm gonna go help out Herson. I'm gonna give John a little lesson here. He's got the idea, he's just a little bit awkward. I wish there was more science behind it. Yeah, not down here. Yeah, definitely hold it from the top. We start by installing our bottom rail into the post that we have installed on the end here. Now we're going to put our top rail into the hole here that we have installed. Now we are going to put our line post into the hole that we dug. Now a line post is going to have holes on 2 sides of the post going in a 180-degree plane. These are meant to be the posts between sections. It's meant to have the fence go in 2 different directions like that. So you'll see there's holes here, and then if I turn it 180 degrees, there's holes on the other side as well. So I'm going to insert this into the hole. Right, so we're going to put our bottom rail into the hole on the line post, then just put our top rail in slightly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Here we have a fence, but what is this? It's completely empty on the inside. We need to fill this in, and that's where the boards come in. For the first and final board of each section, we are going to put a side channel on the board. That just provides a nice flush transition between the board and the post. I'm simply going to snap it on like so. And you'll see when I put it on, I leave a little bit of space on the top of the side channel and on the bottom of the side channel. That's going to be where the board inserts into the rails. So I'm going to start by putting the board in the bottom rail on an angle, and then I'm going to just angle it into the top rail and hit it over till it makes contact with the post. Now these are tongue and groove boards, which just means they nice and easily insert into each other. You'll see one side of the board has the groove, the other side has the tongue, and they are meant to snap together, and they are meant to snap together, and they are meant to snap together. It's a lot easier to do in the fence section. That's gonna be a good blooper. So here we go, just installing the boards. I'm gonna hand them to Herson facing the right way, so that way it's easy for him. He's just going to put it in the bottom rail, angle it, slide it into the top rail, and continue onward. So now we are on the final board. So I'm going to put the side channel on, just like we did before. Just this time I'm going to put it on the opposite end. All right, now we're gonna just put that top rail back in. Now to lock the top rail into the post, we're simply going to put a screw into the top of the rail, right flush up against the post. That'll prevent the top rail from sliding out. All right, so you see we just put our screw in, and now this rail is locked into place. Now we're gonna go ahead and install this post the same way we did on the end there. We're first going to surround it with dirt. Then we are going to tamp that dirt nice and compact while holding the post plumb. That is going to stabilize it and hold its position. Now we are going to surround this post with a substantial amount of concrete, making this fence nice and strong. So we went ahead and marked the next hole so that way John can begin digging. Meanwhile, we are going to go ahead and install this next panel. Insert the bottom rail first, then we insert our top rail. Now we're going to put our side channel on the first board. Now we're going to go ahead and install the rest of the boards. Take a look once again at these tongue and groove boards. They nicely insert into each other. Now we're going to put a side channel on the final board. Now we're going to put in that final board. Now we're going to go ahead and take our line post. We're going to start on bottom, get the bottom rail into the hole. Now we move on to the top rail. once again with the dirt, then we tamp it, then add concrete, then another layer of dirt. I love the lunge technique.
Dude, you gotta get in there.
It's really funny when we get new guys on the job, how they try and use the post hole digger. He'll get the hang of it one day.
What do you mean? I think I got it pretty good, you know?
You're doing great.
I look like a noob?
No, you look great. You look great. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the best time of the day.
I work very hard right now, relax, eat.
¿Qué tienes para almuerzo?
Tengo pizza con pepperoni, sauce, chicken, everything. I like it, man.
All right, John, can we get a full report? First day on the job. How you doing?
I'll be back tomorrow. Open your mouth. Yeah, good.
All right, guys, we're taking a break for pizza. We'll be back with the fence installation in just a few moments. Now guys, real quick before we get back into the installation, if you are interested in having a fence like this installed at your property, simply text or call me at this number here. This is my direct line. You will reach me, Alex, and I would be happy to help you. If you live on Long Island, New York City, or surrounding areas, I am happy to actually come to your home and do a site visit where I'll walk through the property with you, measure, and then work with you to figure out which styles of fence best suit your taste and your budget. Again, text or call this number. Now let's get back into the installation. Lunch is over. We are back to work.
Once the fence is installed, we do our final leveling. As you'll see, Lewis is here hitting the post down with a sledgehammer. It is always best when you're digging a hole to dig a little bit too shallow and then hit the post down afterwards than it is to dig too deep and have to lift them up. When you hit those posts down, you are hitting those posts into really compact soil, which makes the fence nice and strong. So now we are doing our final level check to make sure that the fence smoothly follows the grade.
Now we are on the other side of the property where you'll see Theodoro and Alphonse over here are working hard to complete the fence line. Remember when we got here, this was old decayed wood fence that was completely falling apart. What an aesthetic upgrade. Now the fence line is completely installed. We're going to do a quick cleanup. To put the caps on these posts, we're going to take some PVC glue and I'm going to glue the cap on 3 sides. That way, if we do ever need to do a repair, we can knock it off from the unglued side, which I usually face toward the customer. And then we are just going to put it on like that and do that. Now that the garden and the fence are clean and all of our caps are glued on, it is time to show you guys the final product.
The solid white vinyl fence that you've come to know and love is now presented in your 4-foot high front yard version. As you'll see, this provides a nice clean border on both sides of this property in Syosset, New York. Now I hope this video clears up the misconception that you need to do an open picket design in the front of your property. You can do that same closed off style to match your privacy fence in the back. However, I will say it again, check your local building codes, as sometimes rules may vary. If this fence is bordering a driveway, for example, some towns may require a more open concept design. But for the majority of towns here where we install, this fence is permissible and beautiful.
Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel, leave a thumbs up and a comment down below. All that stuff really helps out our channel. Check out this related content and we will see you in the next video.